happy. Robbie has created a 30-foot tall starting tower, which will enable him to see his takeoff ramp, the volcano, and his landing ramp, plus his landing area, the Las Vegas Strip. If everything goes perfectly, he will roar down the tower ramp, gaining much-needed speed. He will hit his takeoff ramp at just under 100 miles an hour, vault over the volcano, which will erupt in a series of explosions. He will touch down in the center of his landing ramp and come to a stop in front of thousands of fans. One of the bad scenarios would be if Robbie started out from his tower at the correct speed, hit his takeoff ramp perfectly, but the pyrotechnicians trigger a premature eruption of the volcano. Robbie could then be engulfed in flames that reach temperatures in excess of 900 degrees. He could lose control of the flight of his motorcycle, hit the landing ramp with his back tire, and flip across the pavement with bone-shattering consequences. A second bad scenario would be if Robbie started out from the tower ramp, but was not able to gain enough speed before hitting his takeoff ramp. This would throw all the timings off. The pyrotechnicians could once again trigger the volcano too early. And then, because he did not reach the proper speed, Robbie would most likely clear the volcano, but he could come up short of the proper landing zone. If he were lucky enough to at least partially hit on the landing ramp, he would once again suffer devastating consequences. Way too short, and he could be stuffed into steel-reinforced deck. The worst-case scenario is the one that is feared by most daredevils worldwide. Making what appears to be a perfect start, any engine malfunction or the master link of his chain or any chain malfunction could signal a true death ride. The reason, this is the area of no return. Once Robbie reaches this area, he must jump. If there is any complication in this zone, he is already committed. There is no stopping or turning back. If any malfunction should occur, he could land inside the volcano. That would sear and destroy his lungs, resulting in an agonizing death. As you can see, we can't really overstate the potential for disaster, frankly. A lot of things have to go right for it all to work out. I have to remind all of you watching, it seems absurd, but if you happen to have a volcano in your backyard and a stunt crew, don't jump over it with a motorcycle. Seriously, Robbie is a team of professionals working around the clock to make sure everything goes to plan. They plot out the exact mathematical equations to ensure success, from the angles of the ramps to precisely when he shifts gears. It's all very heady stuff, and even the smallest misstep will spell disaster. So I want to caution you, don't try it where you live. Well, incredibly, with all this planning, I want to mention one piece of information that always astounds me. Robbie refuses to put a speedometer on the motorcycle. He's been doing it for so long that he uses his instincts and his ears simply to gauge the pitch of the bike and how fast he should be going. It's a real marvel to witness, and you'll see it here in a moment. And as he also likes to say, when you're going that fast, who's got time to look down at the speedometer? It's the moment you've been waiting for. We are ready. The test runs are through. Robbie Knievel is ready to jump. I should also mention, next to launch, the crowd is gathered on the strip. He's made it! Robbie Knievel has made it successfully, landed cleanly, and now celebrates like a daredevil likes to. Taking his curtain call at the top of the ramp. He made that curve, he made the approach, hit perfectly, and a perfect landing. And Happy New Year! That's a very relieved Knievel crew, many of whom worked with his father 41 years ago at Caesars. Many of those same stunt coordinators who were young men then have aged through the generations with the Knievel family. And tonight, another triumphant night for Team Knievel. Here's a replay. And watch, he has to get that approach cleanly. It was the toughest part of this entire jump. And as he lands cleanly rear wheel first, Robbie does make it look easy. Ah, yes. A relieved Knievel family. Spike. I ask you, Spike, as the volcano here at the Mirage goes off, that is something to see, an incredible jump. Happy New Year to who, Spike?
I'm standing here with Terry Fader, who performs here at the Mirage, right? You just said you got a new contract. You're performing here in 2009. Tell us what people will see when they come to see your show.